Charge of that.
Oh.
How are you?
Ooh, man. I broke my cardinal rule.
What's your cardinal rule?
Don't get involved, don't watch.
Yeah. So wait, when did you break your cardinal rule?
Last night when I was preparing for what I was going to do when I came here, and that's why I might seem a little shell-shocked. And now people's sort of quiet reaction to me makes a lot more sense. I have become a pariah, it would seem.
Among certain people. What did you watch? Did you like get caught up like from the beginning?
Yeah, from like the original Josh versus Dave thing.
Wow, so you went way back.
Yeah, it took me a couple hours.
Oh God, you watched everything.
I had no idea how claustrophobic this was all for you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sorry.
About what?
You're stuck in crazy.
It's, you know, it's interesting. It's been a long acceptance process. Like, when I first got in here, you know, I used to wake up every single morning, like, just with this feeling like, what the hell is happening? Like, how did my life lead me to this point? Like, what is going on? And then, about a month in, it started turning into this, like, really tenuous acceptance of, like, I guess this is my life now.
Well,
and now it's, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Is it rough?
Oh, you know, I can't complain when I see other people having a harder time than I am. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't like the role I played.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the part I played in it. And I know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what bullying looks like. It starts with somebody coming up with a name for you,
mm-hmm.
and then, you know, group of guys start talking amongst each other. We need to get out of here. It's usually when they say it. And then, you know, snide commentary. I don't want it to go there. I don't want it to go there. I really don't. You know, this guy's talking about stuffing me in a barrel. What is this, middle school again?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And I understand that there's a bit of a Lord of the Flies thing going on here. But what am I bringing? Really? That you can't already, well, you different, but that they can't already get. You know, what do I offer? They can buy honey elsewhere. And the beeswax will be harder for you, but I'm going to set you up with pounds of it. So that's what's been tumultuously rolling around in my head.
Yeah, of course. No, it's been a rough couple days, and because it's been interesting between like different dynamics within the group, those dynamics going on the.
So that's what's been tumultuously rolling around in my head.
Yeah, of course. No, it's been a rough couple days, and because it's been interesting between like different dynamics within the group, those dynamics going on the.
One of the problems in waiting is when the table, you'll go up to them and you'll say, hey, what would you like? And they'll say, I want these. And then take their order, put it into the kitchen, you go back again, you refill their water. Well, where's what we ordered? Kitchen cook this. I can't make the bees come. That's a weather thing. That's a bloom time thing. But every time I seem to come to the table, I spill something. And I am, you know, how do I say this? I'm not sad that I stood up for myself.
You shouldn't be.
I never called anyone names. I never told anyone, you know, that they were flawed or bad people, or I never talked down to anybody. I just said, you're treating me badly. And, you know, it wasn't coming to some guy's house and starting a fight with him. It was talking to my friend's roommate and saying, you need to stop being such a dick to me, you know. And I'm not about to start calling people names. I know how he comes off to me. I know how Mike looks outside of this from a 360 point of view. But that's not for me to tell you guys. That's not for me to start casting stones from outside of a fence that you can't cross over. That's unfair. It's not part of it. Fundamentally, I believe in what you guys are trying to do. So I'm at a spot where I'm like, well, I'm causing problems. You know, talk to Cal. Cal will tell you, what are we going to do with bees in October? And I agree, you know. I agree. Besides teach you guys, and right now it's patently hostile, you know. And I like that a lot of the more level-headed people, and which is sad is I thought Mike was one of them. I like that.
He usually is.
He usually is.
He has like 5 different personalities to him, which is something that he told me last night. And
yeah, well, that's another, you know, classic diagnostic criterion for antisocial personality disorder. And you know, using charm to get what you want, having no empathy for other people, saying one thing to one person, another thing to another. These are all, you know, classic symptoms of a structural flaw. And you know, I'm just not around. I don't have a good enough view to say who is what, but I know that I'm not comfortable. Here I am whining to you. Handle this. How do you stand up with all this?
it's been rough.
What's the positive? You know, Nikki seems so cool. You've got so many. You've got Ernesto, who's totally awesome. He's been nothing but friendly to me. Josh, you know, all these guys. I just know how this works. All the guys will line up against me. It just happens that way. But Josh, when we're playing chess, is a delight.
Yeah. No, Josh flip-flops. He goes back and forth between being like total sweetheart and being an instigator at the same time. Like, and that's also because Josh has still been kind of unsure of
who he is
socially, where he fits in here.
Right.
Yeah, he's had a hard time dealing with that. Like, he kind of feels a little isolated and feels like on the fringes, and I think he kind of flip-flops depending on, you know.
Yeah. No, it's a shame because there's nobody here who's really, only one person here who's really been like that cruel to me or you know, made any sort of absurd commentary. But then I come and everyone's...
It's just rough because that person happens to be the rallier.
And everyone's now looking at me. Yeah. I came here essentially for you. I came here originally for bees, and then I was like, wow, it's kind of a middle school play yard where the girls like me and the guys hate me again. And
it's funny that you put it that way, because being here, I've had a lot of those same thoughts about my own interaction with people, where it feels like being in school again. I'm kind of falling socially into the same roles that I did.
I mean, it was crazy. Really? Socially into the same roles? What role did you play in middle school?
The loner.
Oh. Oh boy.
Which I'm trying to break out of. Like, I'm really trying here to break out of. It's just like so much easier for me to be happy, like when I break off and I'm just alone or not around a lot of people, you know.
I had a really good group of friends. I had some buddies, you know, that were inseparable from me. And we grew up in a place that looked exactly like this, with the wooden structures and all, except we had corrugated tin on the sides and, you know, almost no supervision. And so we were able to completely pull back and create our own little society. And for us it was utopia. But we were a deliberate community, you know. We sought each other out. And so, you know, these hills are cold reminders of what can be awesome and what is lacking.
Yeah.
I look around, all I want to do is take off my shoes and go hiking and follow coyote trails. And, you know, there's a deer over to our left and I'm thinking, I want to eat you. and mount your antlers on the wall with the others. God, I had a really, really fun time escaping. It's not possible in here, except into your own head.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I don't regret.
As you're doing, you know, might as well try it.
And it's been a rough couple of days because it's definitely, especially since we recently got a lot of people and suddenly your conversations are things that were not in here. And just being like, talk to me about what you have, tell me about the street that you live on, you know, just anything.
We're going to talk. That makes us cry. We're going to talk about films that have influenced who we are, and finally figuring out why they've influenced us so much. I guess I'll start. I realized within this last year, my 3 films to look.
Fight Club. Fight Club's been coming a lot in here. Fight Club's one of my comfort movies. Like if something's going wrong,
I get
I'm
so
really
happy at the end.
upset, I put on Fight Club. And it's scenes from it have been popping up a lot. Suffice to say, you met me at a very strange time in my life.
You like Shakespeare?
I do.
I was hoping you got the line when I said it.
I did indeed. And I made some references of my own in my response that I wrote to you.
Do you have a response?
I do, indeed. I'll snag it for you later.
Oh, blushing pilgrims.
What's your favorite Shakespeare?
Without a doubt, Julius Caesar. Because it has the best of lines, you know. And it's one of those moments you see the mastery in what he wrote, in that every word can be interpreted 2 ways and both fit the situation perfectly. Is your knuckle okay?
No.
You've been hitting things?
No, that was the toaster oven.
Up, anyway.
It's the toaster oven. Everybody has one.
That's your mark
It's
together.
the mark, yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite play?
Merchant of Venice.
Merchant of Venice? Careful, I'm Jewish.
Oh no. Are you really Jewish?
I am.
Yeah? Practicing?
I love the culture, but as for what's upstairs...
On New Year.
I
Weren't
was
you?
here
Or
on,
you went
yeah,
some
I wished
holiday?
everyone a happy
That's
New Year.
right. That's
Shana
right.
Tova.
Yeah.
I keep Passover because it's a celebration of freedom with a 4-drink minimum. And I think that everyone should atone once a year, and so I keep Yom Kippur.
Oh, nice.
That's fun. I'll only live less than a century, who knows?
Merchant of Venice, the reason why, I think, kind of similar to your sentiment about Julius Caesar, about really just shows the genius of Shakespeare. That, you know, it's constantly, I guess technically now it's categorized as one of the problem plays. For a long time it was categorized as one of the comedies. I mean, I think if you look at like Bassanio and Antonio as the main characters, yes, it is a comedy by the structure, by the formula, you know, like they win in the end, everybody gets the girl that they want, you know.
Of course, the bad guy has forced to eat his own words.
But if Shylock is the protagonist, then it's a tragedy, you know. And I think that for something written during very anti-Semitic Elizabethan England, it has a lot, like, it would be very easy, I think, for Shakespeare to really paint a one-dimensional, like, evil Jewish villain, and he doesn't.
A Shylock.
Exactly, but he doesn't. You know, Shylock has a lot of depth.
It's very difficult for an educated man anywhere not to run into some Jews.
You got him. You've collected him.
We look at the play, and what we see is a man that thought he was doing right by his view of the world. Actually, I'm very sympathetic to that. And the passion that drives somebody, love of a person, or love